Lebo was ambitious from the start. By day, she worked diligently in an office, climbing the early steps of her career. By evening, she sat in postgraduate classes, notebook open, mind alert, absorbing lectures after long workdays. Evening classes were a different world, filled with business owners, managers, consultants, and professionals already established in the job market. Many were older, many were financially stable, and many had already, quote, figured life out. Lebo noticed. She observed quietly, not with envy, but with intention. She was not just there for the degree, she was also scanning the room, measuring conversations, lifestyles, cars in the parking lot, and subtle signs of stability. She was approaching 30. Her age mates were getting married, having children. Even her younger sister already had a baby. To Lebo, time was ticking. She wanted more than love. She wanted security. That was when she noticed Martin. Martin stood out. Not flashy, not loud. He was only about 3 years older than her, had a stable job, a decent car, and a calm confidence. He spoke thoughtfully in class discussions and carried himself with quiet assurance. Lebo did her research discreetly. She learned where Martin worked. She noticed that his office was not far from hers. At least I'd be driven to work, she thought. At least life would be easier. Lebo was beautiful, graceful, well put together, with a figure that turned heads effortlessly. Martin noticed her too. Conversations turned into laughter, laughter turned into connection. Soon, dating followed naturally. For Martin, it felt organic. For Lebo, it felt calculated but promising. Their postgraduate course lasted 2 years. They grew closer through exams, deadlines, and late-night discussions. After graduation, they continued dating for another year. By then, Lebo felt she had waited long enough. "I'm almost 30, she told herself. I need to settle." So they did. Marriage came quietly, without drama. A year into the marriage, they welcomed a baby boy. Life seemed to align perfectly, until it didn't. One morning, Martin came home earlier than usual. He had lost his job. The shock hit him hard. He reassured Lebo that it was temporary. He promised to look for work. He believed, perhaps naively, that marriage meant standing together during storms. But that was when Lebo's tone changed. "I can't feed a grown man," she said coldly. "I can't house a grown man. I'm paying rent now." The words cut deeper than unemployment ever could. Martin was shattered, not just by job loss, but by the realization that his value in the marriage was tied almost entirely to his income. With nothing else to anchor him, he packed his bags and moved to another town, hoping to start a small business, hoping to rebuild. Things didn't work out. The business struggled, rejections piled up. He sent out countless job applications, holding on to hope with thinning fingers. Then, finally, an interview invitation arrived from the city he had left. But there was a cruel twist. He didn't even have fare to travel back. He called Lebo. He explained. He asked, quietly, humbly, for help. She didn't care. There was no encouragement, no concern, no support. Martin borrowed money from friends and went for the interview with borrowed hope. He got the job. When Lebo heard the news, her arms opened again. Suddenly, he was welcome. Martin returned, not because he had forgotten the pain, but because he wanted to be a present father to their son. He wanted his child to grow up with both parents under one roof. He swallowed his pride and told himself marriage required forgiveness. But he never forgot the lesson. Without income, he meant nothing to her. As time passed, Lebo's career flourished. Promotions came, incentives followed, her income grew, soon surpassing Martin's. With money came pride. With pride came contempt. She started reminding him, subtly at first, then openly, that she earned more. The house they built in the city, mostly her money. The schools she wanted their children to attend, Martin couldn't afford them, and she made sure he knew. "You're not man enough" became an unspoken message in every argument.
Then she met her boss. He had money, influence, power. He pampered her with gifts, cash, attention. He spoke her language, the language of status, comfort, and big girl life. Lebo was blinded. She started staying out late, dressing differently, living differently. Her friends changed too. She surrounded herself with women who spoke of men as accessories and marriage as optional, women who laughed at struggle and worshipped lifestyle. Lebo felt her league had changed. Martin felt it. The respect grew unbearable. The home became hostile. Eventually, Martin moved out, not in anger, but in defeat. Lebo made sure everyone knew she was doing better. She painted Martin as weak, inadequate, incapable. She forgot, or chose to forget, that she once pursued him, deliberately, convinced him they could build a family together. Maybe Martin had his own weaknesses, flaws only Lebo truly knew. No one is perfect. But one truth remained painfully clear. When love is built on convenience, it collapses under inconvenience. Lebo wanted a husband, but only as long as he fit the picture she designed.
If you love real-life stories like this, hit subscribe, like, comment, and let's keep walking through these journeys together.